Guys, welcome to today's video on the very first video of this channel. I appreciate all the people that came over from the old channel to this one. That means y'all are active subscribers and want to see more of my content. This channel is going to be more gaming and reaction and more videos from my friends in the last channel. We're going to be high quality content all the way. I'm going to be hyped for today's video. We are going to get into this. It's called I'm the Only Man in Town for My Story Animated. And if you're new watching this is my first video on the channel. Hit that like and subscribe. We're a new channel. We're going to be growing, so hop on the bandwagon while you can.
I was the only boy born into a girl's village after 20 years. When you're the first
Wait, what? You're lucky. You're lucky. You got all the girls. You got all the girls.
boy to be born into a village chock-block full of girls after 20 years.
Oh, he knew
Let
it.
me
He
tell
knew
you,
it. Did you see that face? Did you see that face on him? He's like, yeah, you knew. He knew.
Some burden to bear. All you guys out there are probably thinking it must be like winning the lottery.
Yes.
Girls flocking to your feet everywhere. Yeah, it kinda was like that at first. But then things just got weird. Okay, so I live in a small village in East Europe, and the
East
women
Europe.
have been
That's
giving
where
birth
the
to only
script
girls
is.
for
Which country, you dumbo?
the past 20 years. We aren't really sure why, but my village believes that they got cursed from a witch that they kicked out a long time ago. But if you ask
That's
me, I think God is the one punishing us for kicking her out.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
On top of all that, people in my village are not allowed to marry people from the outside. So, the moment my
Wait.
parents realized I was a boy, they
Oh,
Hold up.
wait. Hang on, let me get off that screen.
quickly wrapped me up in a blanket.
Okay, so where did the other dads come from? Why? He showed the baby's cheeks. He showed the baby's cheeks. I paused it at the wrong time. But anyway, where did the other dads come from? Oh, well, you're the only boy, but what about the other dads? Were they not in the village? Were they not existed? Did they go get milk and never come back? Let's just forget about me pausing on the baby's cheeks.
And kept my gender a secret. They told everyone I was a girl and that my
Why?
name was
I'd be
Jackie,
like, yo, I
when
got
in
the
actual
boy. You
fact,
got the biggest one in this village.
I was a boy and my name was Jared. A little bit weird, right?
Jared.
But my parents had no other option. They knew that people would freak out if they found out I was a boy. No one in our village had given birth to a boy in more than 20 years, and my
Okay,
parents
so-
didn't want me to get so
okay,
much
so you're-
attention.
how
They just wanted me to live a
old is
normal
your-
life.
is there no
Except
other
it
men in
wasn't
the village? They all
normal,
leave?
and I only realized that now, thinking back. At the time, I was none the wiser. I happily played with dolls and wore frilly
That's not a
dresses
doll,
and
that's a
let
teddy
everyone
bear.
call me Jackie. I mean, I didn't even know I was called Jared. Well, that was until I was 5 years old. I was playing in our backyard when a woman appeared on the other side of the wall. She was dangling some candy in front of my face, and like a little puppy dog, I followed her. I kept looking back, expecting my parents to come running out to get me, but they were nowhere to be seen. The woman asked me to get into her car and told me that if I was a good boy, she'd give me more candy. I didn't even think twice. My parents never let me eat candy. But then, I realized she'd said good boy, and I turned to her and told her I was a girl.
He like,
I'll
yo, yo, no, that's not what I identify as. Don't cancel me. It was a joke.
never forget the way she threw her head back and let out a chuckle. She looked at me and said, "Sure, Pumpkin, and I'm the President of the United States." Oh, look, there's a flying pig. I fell for it and looked, and the next moment, she'd lifted up my dress and said, "See, you're a boy, you little freak." I didn't understand what she was talking about.
You're a
And then
boy. You have a ding dong. You're a boy.
she explained that I was a boy and that my parents had been lying to me. Then she said the village mayor was offering a reward to the first woman to give birth to a son. And seeing as my parents were keeping me a secret, she'd hand me over and collect the reward money herself. I was too young to fully understand, but I knew I was in serious trouble.
He's like,
I
"No."
started
He's like, "No, no,
screaming
no, no,
and
no, no,
thrashing
no."
my arms about, and this only made her drive faster. I have no
Baby starts screaming. Press on the gas a little more. Go a little faster. Go a little faster. Go a little faster. And then you're speeding off.
idea why I did what I did next, but suddenly I jumped onto her knee.
Free
She
Willy.
couldn't see where she was going, and that's when we crashed. We could have died, but I didn't care. At that moment, all I wanted was to get away from that horrible woman. And it was my lucky day, because all that happened was her car got a bit crushed, but I escaped without even a scratch. I started
look like
running
you're
back
Shrek.
towards our village, and she was chasing me, but I was too fast for her.
Too
My
fast.
parents suddenly drove by, and my mom burst into tears. Well, there was nothing that woman could do. She was well and truly caught now. Turns out she'd escaped from a nearby psychiatric clinic, and they came and picked her up promptly.
Dr. Hill, she insane in the membrane. Don't copyright me.
My parents had no other choice. They had to tell the mayor
That boy, don't try it. I check you out like a Luda and a rock.
and everyone else that I was actually a boy, and that my name was Jared. But I like being Jackie, I told them. That just made my mom cry more. And when she switched my dresses for shorts and t-shirts, I felt strange. I thought no one would want to be my friend anymore, but I couldn't have been more wrong. All of a sudden, every girl wanted to be my friend. I was the center of attention, and honestly, it was too much. I was just a kid. Suddenly, I had girls hanging off me, wanting to play with me all the time. How
That's
come
a
I was more
life.
popular as a boy than a girl?
That's
Anyway.
the life. That is the life.
The older I got, the more intense it became. When I turned 12, the village mayor started a new tradition. From now on, every year on my birthday, I'd sit on a throne for the whole day, and all the women who wanted to conceive baby boys would come and bow at my feet, and one by one, they'd reach
And you're complaining. And he's complaining. And he's complaining. You literally have women bowing at your feet, trying to get fertility, and you're complaining.
out and kiss my feet. It freaked me out so much. But the mayor told me he'd buy me a special gift if I did this one thing for the village. One time, though, it was taken too far. One woman wouldn't stop kissing my toes, and suddenly, I felt a sharp pain shooting through my body. She'd gotten so carried away, she'd actually bitten down.
Okay, that's weird.
I was even bleeding. After that, I refused to do it the following year. It was just some stupid ritual that the village thought would bring them luck. And come on, it wasn't even working. I was still the only boy. When
would
I
be
turned
happy with that.
18, I decided the only way to handle all the attention was to just embrace it. There was one girl, Sammy, who was actually pretty cute. And after she basically begged and stalked me for weeks, I agreed to be her boyfriend. Of course,
Dude
all
is
the other girls were
complaining about
jealous, and I was
having the life. He's complaining.
worried I was about to start World War III. Looks like Sammy won. I actually felt like I was really falling for her. And one night, she invited me over to her house. Her parents were out, so we started making out. She was really hot. She reassured me they'd only be home much later, but suddenly we heard the door. I leapt behind the sofa half-dressed, and then things went horribly wrong.
Oh, Lord.
Well, how did it go? Did he put a baby in you yet? Come on, Sammy, we aren't paying you all this money so you can sit around. Give us a grandson already. I couldn't believe it. She'd been using me. I stood up and gave her parents the
Yo,
biggest
it's-
fight.
It's hard
Then
to
I-
fight somebody when you're in your boxers, bro. It really is. Like, you just got everything hanging out there, and you're...
I turned to Sammy and said, "Screw you. I hope it's a girl you have." Then I grabbed my clothes and walked out.
Screw you!
I never wanted to see her
Oh,
again.
God.
But then later, she fell off the stairs and had a miscarriage. To everyone's shock, Sammy was actually pregnant with a baby boy. After that, the whole village knew about it and made them go even crazier. Women lined up outside my house for the whole day. Some even tried to enter my home. Everyone wanted my number and my social media contact. They even put security to watch me. But then I was like, screw it. After the way Sammy used me, I decided to get revenge by dating as many girls as possible. Girls were basically falling at my feet, while guys around the world were doing the impossible to get girls' attention. So I dated a whole bunch of them at the same time, and they did everything for me. They got me food, gave me massages, and I got all kinds of gifts daily. I mean, we all know how much fun a guy like me can have with girls. They were just so hot and amazing. And the best
No,
part,
we really
I
need
didn't have
that.
to work for it.
That's where I admit, did we really need that zoom in? We really...
But there was so much expectation. They all wanted sons. I wasn't ready to be a father. Babies were so not my thing.
Babies were
I
so
tried to talk to
okay.
my mom about it, but suddenly she started crying. I told her I wasn't interested in hearing about how much she wanted a grandson again. But then she took me by surprise. She told me she was sick, and that she didn't have much time left, and that she only wanted me to be happy. I felt so guilty. Was I being selfish?
Yes.
After our conversation, I asked Amy, who lived next door to us, if she wanted to be my girlfriend. I made her swear to keep it secret so that the other girls didn't get jealous. I felt like time was against us. Mom kept getting more sick, and Amy and I were having no luck getting pregnant. Then I thought, what if I had another girlfriend too? I don't know if it was the thought of losing my mom and not giving her what she wanted, or if I was actually going insane or something. But I asked Leanne, who lived at the end of the village,
down here.
if she'd like to be my girlfriend too. And obviously she said yes.
Obviously.
Please don't judge me for two-timing. I just felt desperate. And then shit hit the fan. Clearly the universe wasn't playing with me. On the same day, they both called me and told me they were pregnant. Amy was a strict Catholic and said her parents would kill her if we didn't get married. So I married her at home and we had a quiet little ceremony. But then Leanne told her dad she was pregnant and he threatened to beat my ass if I didn't marry his daughter. I knew I didn't have a
They all
choice,
wanted this.
but was it even
Like-
legal? 2 wives? But no one would need to know. This all happened in the same week.
Your wife need to know.
Suddenly, I had 2 wives and 2 babies on the way. Leanne's dad gave me a job on his farm, so I spent the daytime with Leanne. Then every night, I'd go home and stay with Amy. Can you believe I didn't get caught? My parents knew about Amy, but I just prayed they didn't find out about Leanne. Listen, I wasn't happy about it. In fact, I didn't feel anything for these girls, and I was sure it would get out at some point. And it did, because both of them gave birth to boys. I was there for Amy's and had to rush over to Leanne's to make her birth too. And the mayor held another stupid ceremony. Well, there was no way I could go. Everyone would find out. I packed a small bag and gave my mom a kiss goodbye, and then I took my dad's old bicycle and cycled out of the village as far as I could. I rented a small room at a cheap motel, but then every social media platform reported me missing. The whole village was looking for me. I tried to disguise myself as someone else, and I started working at a grocery store nearby.
That's a real clever disguise, Carlos.
A long time passed and no one found me. I started having male friends my age, which was pretty cool. But to be completely honest, I also missed my family. I was scared of what they'd do if I went back to see them, so I never did. Until one day, after a whole year passed, I heard a knock on the door. It was the motel manager standing there with my 2 wives, and he said, "These women are looking for you." I wanted to run, but I saw that they were holding 2 adorable baby boys. My 2 wives told me, "We want you back. We don't care that you're married to both of us, but if it's too much for you, you can choose one." I hated how my life was like before, but after seeing my 2 boys, I couldn't stay here. My village needed me to have more children.
No.
Both of my wives were pretty
Here comes Superman. Super sperm.
cool, so I decided to stay married to them both. And eventually, I got a 3rd wife after a few years.
He's a legit. He just said he got a 3rd wife. This dude's a legit pimp. He's a pimp.
And today, I became the proud father of 10 boys.
Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Hit that like and subscribe. For first video, give it a little thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button. Down below, it's free. So yeah guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. See y'all guys in the next video. Bye.